Special shout out to the people that are guests today. I see y'all over there. I appreciate y'all for showing up and listening in. So make sure I want to acknowledge y'all. Make sure that y'all get some love too. Today's message. Well, first off, you right on time if you just getting in. I let some music play because I wanted to catch a vibe, and you know what I mean. I'm hearing everything make waves for the first time. Outside of mixing it all together, when I placed it in the set. So I'm riding the wave with y'all as these songs have generated some form of emotion or another in me as they have been going back and forth. For those of y'all that are catching the energy today and you're here in the chat, please just drop a one or your favorite emoji or something just to let me know you catching the vibe too as I go into this message. And of course, for those that have seen the title, they see the earth symbol and good. Um, like just right out back. For those that know that symbol is special in the way of being earthly good, earthly good. You know what I mean? And I post that with purpose and intention because of some of the things that I've been seeing and across Hoodoo Heritage Month. There's a few people that have talked about it as well. But I made a post on Threads about um, speaking on more of the transformation and that is from Hoodoo and how Hoodoo has ushered in healing in a very real way for a great deal of us that have been sitting in it for a long time. Um, for those of you that don't know, I sit in the seat of being born into Hoodoo, so I'm a little bit different. Um, these are ancestral practices for me because my maternal family, have their own lineage, um, and as well as all of the other things that I have as far as titles and certifications and whatnot. But that's not important. The important part is how am I using it? I'm using myself. I could speak about others, but I'm using myself. How am I using it in the space of um, being better to the world around me, being better for the world around me, and that starts with um, being in the space of healing. I have a few people that have we have put together something very special amongst each other, where we literally sit in a very real space of being Hoodoo as a community and being in the space of healing together, which is what it was always about. Making do, not the performative pomp and circumstance, but the actual ugly parts made beautiful. You know what I mean? Reminding each other that we're not we're not broken, but that doesn't mean that we don't need tending to, as the old folks say. I'll repeat that again for you. We're not broken, but that doesn't mean we don't need tending to. So, family, if you could listen up very closely for me, because what I'm ultimately saying is that healing was never, ever, 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 ever meant to be a solo act. As those of us that have done some very, very real work, we understand that yes, we can say we are healed all day long until we get in the public, and then we're reminded of just how much more we have to go. And that's the beauty of healing together, because if you think about healing together in the space of um, sonic waves, I'm gonna speak from a space of music for those that enjoy music like I do. If you speak from a space of a sonic wave, then we all are drums in some capacity. What does that mean? The more we we create tunes and different vibrations, the more we come together to create some form of percussion like symphony. You know, it resonates for me as a call and response between souls, remembering who they are. It's a little bit different because when we come together, oftentimes from places that have made us feel a certain way. We're reminded that we're not only brave and living, but also breathing. Um, we start to feel and sound like and realize just how much in harmony we are again amongst each other on a soul level, on a molecular level, if we get scientific about it. Um, healing together, healing together means that we drop the Barnum and Bailey act and moving like we're fine and creating content that feels like a late night video on BET right before Uncut come on. Yeah, I mean, like we got this performative thing going where we got all the things laid out and we got all the journals and we turn the camera on, put a little water droplet on our face and in the corners to make it seem like we've been crying, you know what I mean? And we wrap the coziest throw blanket we got from Home Goods on us and some of us wrap our heads and some of us put all the crystals on and put our feet in the sandals with the grass in them and we make ourselves you know all the things that we could be to make people want to listen to us when we could simply start showing up real. Maybe it looked like we got our feet in the couch barefooted. Maybe it looks like we bouncing around the house reminiscing like we in the club back in the days for those of us that was out there, what I mean, when Lil Jon first popped out or what I mean. But what I'm getting at by mentioning these things is showing up real and you know it means holding space for each other's everything without judgment and celebrating each other and celebrating each small return to joy. Do you hear what I'm saying when I say that? Celebrating each other's small return to joy. Because some of us go through things and it knock us off our square a little bit, our legs get wobbly, and we feel like it ain't we don't know where we going next and we ain't got the answers right now. Even you can be a seer, you can be a diviner all you want to, but let's be honest, we all get in those moments to where we don't really know. You know what I mean? And sometimes we forget our tools, so we need people to sit with us and remind us, hey man, you got tools, you connected to source, don't forget who you are, don't forget where you come from, don't forget what cloth you part of, don't forget you got that right fabric that make you attuned to the most high, don't forget. And some of us get lost in the space of feeling like we're feeling like we God and don't remember we're not the God. We're a God, but we're not the God. And we forget that sometimes. We forget that because I want each of you in that to know that even still you're creators of your own respectable universes, and that is sacred. That is creation, creating with the Creator as a creator themselves. And a lot of times our creating and our healing ripples back and forth because I'm finna get a little hoodoo, y'all. So forgive me. So forgive me if it feels like like a conjuring, because it absolutely is. Because our healing itself ripples back and forth through the bloodlines and forward through the generations. And this This vibration that you're hearing in my voice is literally me spending time in and out, day in and day out, healing. All of the ways I thought I was moving through things and resurfacing issues popped up right at the end of eclipse season, and I'm like, dang, I thought I had it together. I thought I had it, and then I had some brothers and some sisters that tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you do, you do. It doesn't matter how the issues show up, but what matters the most is that you remember, even in those moments, it's easier to climb when people are holding you by the elbows and like, hey, I know you're in the dark, but I want you to understand we still beside you. Let me hold this lantern up as you begin to see yourself again. And every time we forgive and every time we rest, um, and for everybody, I want you to hear I want everybody to hear, regardless of what and who you are. I want you to understand. You know what I mean? I want you to understand what healing produces, and it produces a real softness, and I mean that for everybody, because I want my brothers to hear this, to understand that there's always a place where you can take your armor off, where you can remove the shame over past things and remove guilt and leave those in places to be buried in good faith, that even sometimes when the fruit may be a little funky, it can still be compost, meaning other things can sprout from the goodness of you actualizing, hey, I can put this over here. I can make something else of it. It doesn't have to be in me or around me for me to understand this purpose. I can set it down. Even then, our ancestors rise with us, because as we heal, so do they. And as they heal and we heal, our descendants rejoice, because it's one less thing that they have to heal from. That's a fresh start. I hope for all of you. And the first step of that in this season is the ability to choose. And I challenge you to choose each other. I challenge you to choose each other. So if you hear my voice today and you don't really know people to connect with, or don't have really any connection with that, I open the door for you to simply hit me up. I'll never pressure anyone to be around forever, but for right now, in your moments, we can sit in healing. I won't sit in your wounds with me. I'm not that person with you. I'm not that person. I won't sit in your wounds with you, but I can show you the other side of your wounds, and I can help you clean them, and I can help you leave them alone, and I can help you nurture yourself while your wounds are in the process of healing, and I can help you see yourself again, and I can help you shine a little light on the other side of the darkness that you may be resting in, because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not. For those of us like myself, a lot of us were born in it. We know how to create in it. We know how to understand ourselves and each other in it, because that's where we also found our light. And that light and that dark is the medicine we need. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about healing. Healing is just the beginning. It's really remembering that love was always the cure. So when you hear me talk about love, that's what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, the most of these things and the least of these things all fall in the lap of love. And that's all I got for y'all today.